Hello and welcome to the late night edition of TVB News. A very good evening to you all. The city reported 21 new COVID-19 cases, including 3 imported infections. Coronavirus cases have continued to plateau within the 30-case range. According to the government, the daily case average had fallen by almost 60% in the recent 2 weeks. But cases with unknown origins have continued to account for roughly a third of all infections, indicating the persistence of an invisible transmission chain within the community.
With a period of several weeks of tight measure, we observed and noticed there may be an issue of fatigue in the public when they are doing all these measures. We will not hesitate to tighten if there's any obvious or significant worsening of the situation.
The health official also said more than 5,000 healthcare workers have signed up to assist in the collection of specimens in a citywide COVID testing scheme starting next Tuesday.
There's no need or no intention for the government to predict the actual number of participants. What we would do is to provide the sufficient venue, recruited adequately experienced personnel or adequately trained personnel in doing the procedure.
Among the latest diagnosed patients is a social worker of the Hongqi Leimuk-Shu Hostel. Also from the same facility, an occupant who was admitted to Princess Margaret Hospital after throwing up on Tuesday has tested preliminary positive. The city's newest COVID carriers also include 7 people whose sources of infection are untraceable. They include a taxi driver, a police officer, a supermarket staff member, and a retiree.
The police officer works in the West Kowloon headquarters, so he worked as a team with several team members and occasionally had lunch with one colleague.
Authorities also reported a case of diagnosis after death involving a 59-year-old man who tested preliminary positive last night. He sought treatment at Changwon Hospital yesterday and died roughly 45 minutes after reaching the venue. A laboratory supporting next week's citywide COVID testing scheme is asking the public not to worry about false positive test results. BGI Sunrise Diagnostic Center was earlier responsible for 3,700 false positive test results in Sweden and 5 more in Hong Kong. Noted tests will be carried out through a joint effort between local and mainland personnel.
After the community testing program, there might be positive result, and those samples would be sent to government laboratory for further testing. We hope that the company will troubleshoot the problem. We hope that the problem is actually not that bad if they have tested a lot of people in Sweden.